Imagine waking up every day for the next 7 days with a clarity and power you've never felt before, a force that reshapes your thoughts, your actions, and your future. What if one week could ignite a transformation so profound your life would never be the same again? Today, I'm inviting you to step into that journey. Have you ever felt like your life is stuck in a loop, repeating the same patterns, the same disappointments, the same frustrations? Like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to break free. What if I told you that in just 7 days you could begin to shift that entire reality? That's right, 7 days to a transformed destiny. It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But the power to change everything starts with one simple decision: to commit to a process that rewires your mind, aligns your focus, and unlocks the potential that's been waiting inside you all along. Now, I'm not talking about some overnight miracle or an instant fix. Real transformation demands intention and discipline, but over the next 7 days, you'll discover something profound. You'll begin to see your life through a new lens, a lens of possibility, of strength, and of purpose. This isn't just about setting goals or making resolutions. It's about fundamentally shifting the way you engage with your own potential, the way you move through your challenges, and the way you respond to every opportunity that comes your way. Day one sets the tone. It's the moment when you decide to stop settling for less than you're capable of. It's the day you commit to looking inward, asking the tough questions, and refusing to accept old narratives about who you are and what you deserve. Because listen, the stories we tell ourselves shape our reality more than any outside circumstance ever could. When you change your story, you change your life. But here's the key: transformation isn't just about thinking differently, it's about aligning your heart, your mind, and your actions. Every day you'll be guided to focus on principles that have the power to break chains of fear, doubt, and limitation. You'll learn how to harness your inner strength, not by wishing things were different, but by taking deliberate steps that prove to yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am ready. By the time you reach day 7, something remarkable happens. The small daily choices you make, sometimes invisible, sometimes uncomfortable, add up. You don't just feel different, you become different. Your destiny is no longer a distant dream or a vague hope. It becomes a clear path that you're walking with confidence, courage, and clarity. But here's the thing: the first step, the decision to commit, is only the beginning. What about the peace that comes with surrendering control? What about the power of letting go and trusting the process? That's the next piece of the puzzle, and it's where many get stuck. How do you maintain that momentum? How do you keep your vision alive when the storms come? We'll explore all of that and more, because transforming your destiny in 7 days isn't just about the change you see on the surface. It's about the unseen forces that propel you forward even when the road gets tough. So are you ready to take that first step? Because your journey starts now and the best is yet to come. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to carry a calm confidence no matter what chaos surrounds them? How do they stand firm when storms rage, while others crumble at the first sign of pressure? The answer lies in a secret that's both simple and profound: peace. Not just any peace, but a peace so deep, so unshakable, it becomes the foundation for every decision, every action, every step forward. But here's the catch: peace doesn't come from circumstances. It doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment or the absence of problem. It's cultivated from within, through the practice of daily reflection. You see, when you commit to looking inward every day, you begin to understand your own mind, your fears, your hopes, and your true potential. Daily reflection is like a mirror for your soul, revealing what's real and what's holding you back. Imagine this: every morning you take a few moments, not just to rush through a checklist or scroll through distractions, but to sit quietly, ask yourself meaningful questions, and set your intention. What do I need to let go of today? What will I focus on? What story am I choosing to tell myself? These questions might seem small, but they have the power to shift your entire day, your entire life. When you make daily reflection a habit, you start to see peace not as a fleeting feeling, but as a state of being. It's a peace that doesn't depend on the absence of challenges, but rather the presence of clarity. clarity about who you are, where you're going, and why it matters. And with clarity comes strength. Strength to face adversity, strength to say no to distractions, and strength to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. This kind of peace is like an anchor in a storm. It doesn't mean you won't feel fear or frustration or doubt, but it means those feelings no longer control you. Instead, you respond from a place of calm, from a place of power. You learn to master your emotions rather than being mastered by them. And when that happens, your life begins to change in ways you never imagined. But peace isn't just a feeling, it's a discipline. It requires commitment. It demands that you turn inward every single day, even when life is busy or overwhelming. Because it's in those moments of quiet reflection that your mind resets, your vision sharpens, and your spirit renews. Yet, this is just one piece of the puzzle. What about purpose? What about passion? How do you take this piece and turn it into unstoppable momentum that drives you toward your goals? That's the next step, and it's where many people get stuck, lost in confusion or frustration. We'll dive into how to take that piece and channel it into a life of purpose, power, and unstoppable progress. Because peace without action is only temporary, and your breakthrough depends on what you do next. So are you ready to cultivate that unshakable peace? Because what comes after this will take you even deeper into the transformation you've been waiting for. Have you ever felt like you were just drifting through life, going through the motions, waiting for something to ignite that spark inside you? That feeling of emptiness, like there's something more waiting just beyond your reach, but you can't quite grasp it. What if I told you that in just 7 days you could tap into a life filled with purpose and power, where every action you take is aligned with your deepest calling and every decision fuels your progress? Purpose is the engine that drives fulfillment. Without it, life feels aimless, like a ship without a rudder. Power is the fuel, it's the confidence, the strength, the relentless energy that keeps you moving forward even when obstacles come crashing in. The exciting truth is, purpose and power aren't reserved for a select few. They're available to anyone willing to commit to uncovering them. The first step is realizing that purpose isn't something you find outside yourself. It's discovered within. Over the next 7 days, you'll be guided to reflect deeply on what truly matters to you. What lights a fire in your soul? What makes you lose track of time? When you begin to answer these questions honestly, you unlock a force that's unstoppable. Suddenly, work stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a mission. Your challenges transform into opportunities because you're no longer just surviving, you're thriving with intention. Power comes next, but it's not about force or control. True power is about mastering yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your habits. When you harness this kind of power, you're no longer a victim of circumstances. You become the creator of your reality. The way you think shapes the way you live, and with the right mindset, you develop the resilience to bounce back from failure, the courage to take risks, and the discipline to keep going when others give up. During these 7 days, you will be introduced to principles that awaken this power. You'll learn how to break free from limiting beliefs that have held you hostage. You'll discover how to build habits that support your goals and cultivate a mindset that fuels growth. And most importantly, you'll understand that purpose and power are intertwined. One without the other is incomplete. By the end of this week, you won't just have a clearer vision, you'll have a new identity. One that refuses to settle for less than extraordinary. One that embraces challenges as stepping stones and sees obstacles as invitations to rise higher. This transformation is not theoretical, it's practical, daily real. But here's the crucial question. How do you maintain this momentum once the initial excitement fades? How do you keep your purpose alive when distractions and doubts creep back in? And what about the role of influence? How do you surround yourself with people and environments that fuel your growth instead of draining it? These are the questions we'll tackle next, because the journey to purpose and power isn't meant to be walked alone. There's a deeper layer to unlocking your full potential that depends on connection, support, and the right environment. So are you ready to step into a life where every day has meaning and every move you make charges your future with unstoppable energy? The next part of this journey is about building a foundation that will carry you beyond these 7 days into a lifetime of success. Have you ever felt like you're so close to a breakthrough, yet something invisible keeps holding you back? Like you're banging on a door that just won't open, no matter how hard you push? What if I told you that the key to unlocking your next level, your personal breakthrough, is right in front of you? And better yet, there's a blueprint, a step-by-step process you can follow for 7 days that will change everything. A breakthrough isn't just about luck or chance, it's about strategy. It's about understanding what's blocking your progress, and then taking focused, intentional action to break through those barriers. For many, breakthrough feels like a mysterious, rare event, but it's actually something you can design and create. You just need the right plan. Over the next 7 days, this blueprint will guide you to identify what's been holding you back. Maybe it's fear disguised as comfort or doubt dressed up as caution. It could be habits that no longer serve you or mental patterns that keep you stuck in a loop. Whatever the obstacle, the first step is to see it clearly, because you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Once you have clarity on what's in your way, the blueprint leads you through practical steps to dismantle those barriers. It's not about trying harder, it's about working smart. You'll learn how to redirect your energy, how to set boundaries that protect your progress, and how to create new habits that build momentum instead of draining it. The power of this 7-day process is that it breaks down overwhelming change into manageable pieces. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Instead, you focus on one key area each day, building confidence, developing resilience, sharpening focus, and more. Each day's work compounds on the last, creating a domino effect that pushes you toward breakthrough. By the end of the week, you won't just feel different, you'll act different. You'll have a new rhythm, a new mindset, and a fresh vision for what's possible. This is the moment where you stop wishing for change and start living it. You move from feeling stuck to unstoppable. But here's what most people miss. Breakthrough isn't a destination, it's a process. And sustaining it requires more than just a one-time push. What happens after your breakthrough? How do you keep growing, keep pushing, and keep leveling up when the initial excitement fades and reality sets back in? That's where the next phase comes in, building lasting momentum, because a breakthrough without momentum can quickly become a breakthrough lost. How do you create that momentum? How do you ensure that your progress doesn't just survive but thrives? We'll explore that next, diving into the art of momentum, how to maintain it, how to use it to fuel even greater success, and how to avoid the traps that slow most people down. So are you ready to follow this blueprint and finally break through the barriers that have held you back? Because once you master this process, your life will begin to change in ways you never thought possible. And the journey is just getting started. Have you ever felt stuck in your own story, like you're waiting for some external force to come along and shake things up for you? What if I told you that the power to experience radical change isn't out there somewhere, it's inside you right now, waiting for you to activate it? And the best part, you don't have to wait for the right moment or the perfect conditions. Radical change can begin today in this very moment. Radical change is not just a makeover or a quick fix. It's a deep, fundamental shift in the way you see yourself and your work. It's a transformation that rewires your mind, reshapes your habits, and resets your trajectory. The question is, are you ready to step out of your comfort zone and embrace that kind of change? Because real change demands discomfort. It challenges you to break old patterns and confront the truths you've been avoiding. Starting today means making a decision to no longer accept the limitations that have held you captive. It means standing up and saying, enough is enough. You have within you the power to rewrite your narrative, to move beyond fear, doubt, and hesitation. But that power only activates when you take action. The key to radical change is not just knowing what to do, but doing it consistently, with intentionality and courage. Over the next 7 days, you'll be guided through a process that takes you beyond theory into practice. Each day builds on the last, focusing on shifting your mindset, transforming your habits, and aligning your actions with the person you're becoming. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about waking up each day ready to be a little better, a little stronger, a little more aligned with your true potential. Radical change also means embracing new possibility. When you start to see yourself through a lens of growth and possibility, doors begin to open that were previously invisible. Your mindset expands, your confidence grows, and suddenly what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. Change doesn't just happen to you, it happens because of you. But here's the challenge. Change is only as lasting as the environment you create for yourself. How do you surround yourself with people, habits, and routines that support this new version of you? How do you build a foundation strong enough to hold radical transformation over the long haul? That's exactly what we'll explore next, because change without support often leads to relapse. momentum fades, old habits creep back, and the cycle repeats. What's the secret to making radical change? How do you turn this powerful week of transformation into a lifelong journey of growth and impact? The answers lie ahead, and they will make all the difference. So are you ready to take that first step toward radical change? Because once you commit, your life will begin to shift in ways you never imagined possible, and the journey has only just begun. Have you ever stopped to consider how much your mindset controls your life? How the way you think, the stories you tell yourself every day, can either propel you forward or hold you back in ways you don't even realize. What if I told you that you can completely rewire your mindset in just 7 days? That with the right focus and practice, your brain can be retrained to see opportunity instead of obstacle, possibility instead of limitation. Mindset isn't something fixed or permanent. It's a dynamic force constantly shaped by what you feed it. And often we feed it with doubts, fears, and negative beliefs that keep us trapped in a cycle of underachievement. But here's the good news: your mind is wired for growth. It's designed to adapt, to learn, and to evolve. When you consciously choose to shift your thoughts, you create new neural pathways. New ways of thinking become new ways of acting, and new actions lead to new results. Over the next 7 days, you will be guided through a powerful process to break free from old mental patterns that no longer serve you. You'll start by identifying the limiting beliefs that have quietly sabotaged your effort. Maybe it's the belief that you're not good enough, or that success is reserved for others but not for you. Whatever it is, you'll shine a light on those thoughts and begin to challenge them. This is where the rewiring begins, by replacing those limiting beliefs with empowering truth. Affirmations, visualization, and focused reflection become your tools. Every day you'll practice feeding your mind with positivity, clarity, and confidence. You'll train yourself to look at setbacks as lessons, failures as feedback, and challenges as opportunities for growth. But rewiring your mindset isn't just about positive thinking. It's about developing a disciplined mental attitude that refuses to give up, no matter what. It's about building resilience so strong that when life throws curveballs, you don't crumble, you adapt, you learn, you rise. You start to see obstacles as temporary, and your goals as inevitable. This transformation is both powerful and practical. You're not just dreaming about success, you're preparing your mind to achieve it. And as your mindset shifts, your behavior will naturally follow. You'll make better decisions, attract better relationships, and create new habits that align with your vision. Yet even with a rewired mindset, there's something else you need to master: how to keep this new way of thinking alive every day. How do you prevent old patterns from creeping back in? How do you build a daily routine that nurtures this new mindset so it becomes your default way of seeing the world? That's what we'll explore next: how to harness daily focus for lasting impact. Because mindset change is only as powerful as the actions you take to reinforce. What habits will you build? What routines will you establish to keep your new mindset strong and growing? The answers are coming, and they will unlock even greater progress. So are you ready to rewire your mind for success in just 1 week? Because the power to change your thinking is the power to change your life, and this journey has only just begun. Have you ever experienced that powerful surge of energy when everything just clicks, when motivation fuels your actions and progress feels unstoppable? That's momentum, and it's one of the most valuable forces in your journey toward transformation. But here's the truth: momentum doesn't just happen by accident. It has to be built, nurtured, and protected. The question is, how do you create momentum that propels you forward relentlessly, even when challenges arise? Momentum is like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, and it requires effort to keep it moving. But as it rolls, it picks up speed and power, becoming harder to stop. The key to building momentum is consistency. Small, deliberate actions taken daily that add up to massive results over time. When you commit to showing up every day, no matter how you feel, you begin to generate the kind of energy that moves mountains. But momentum isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things, activities that align with your goals and values, that feed your purpose and power. Too often people mistake busy work for progress, and that's where momentum stalls. To build unstoppable momentum, you have to focus your efforts like a laser beam on what truly matters. Another secret to momentum is tracking your progress. When you see evidence that your actions are working, it fuels your motivation. It reminds you that your effort is not in vain. Celebrate the small wins. They're the building blocks of lasting success. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, reinforces your belief in yourself and your ability to keep moving ahead. Momentum also requires protecting your energy. It means setting boundaries that prevent distractions and negativity from stealing your focus. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and challenge you, not those who drain your enthusiasm. Remember, momentum can be lost as quickly as it's gained, so guarding it is essential. Here's the exciting part. Once you build momentum, it creates a positive feedback loop. Action leads to results. Results boost confidence. Confidence inspires more action, and the cycle continues. You become a force that moves steadily toward your goals, no longer easily derailed by setbacks or doubts. But here's the challenge. Momentum is fragile. What happens when life throws unexpected obstacles in your path? How do you keep going when motivation dips, when fatigue sets in, or when progress seems to slow? That's where discipline steps in, the muscle that carries you through the hard times. Next, we'll explore the crucial role discipline plays in sustaining momentum, because motivation alone isn't enough. The question is, how do you cultivate discipline that keeps you on course, day after day, even when the excitement fades? The answers ahead will reveal how to become unstoppable, no matter what life throws your way. So are you ready to build momentum that propels you forward relentlessly? Because once momentum is on your side, there is no limit to what you can achieve, and your transformation is only just beginning. Why is it so hard to stay consistent? The truth is, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the engine that drives transformation, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline isn't about punishment or restriction. It's about self-mastery, the ability to control your impulses, your focus, and your actions, even when distractions and temptations try to pull you away. It's the commitment to do what needs to be done, day after day, regardless of mood or circumstance. That's the difference between wishing for change and actually creating it. The good news, discipline can be developed, just like a muscle. It starts small. It's about setting clear priorities and making simple, consistent choices that align with your goals. It's waking up a little earlier, saying no to distractions, and showing up even when you'd rather quit. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, building a powerful foundation that supports your dreams. But here's the catch. Discipline requires clarity. You have to know exactly what you're working toward and why it matters. Without a compelling reason, discipline feels like a chore. But with purpose fueling your actions, discipline becomes a natural expression of your commitment to yourself and your future. During this transformational week, you'll be introduced to strategies that make discipline easier to maintain. You'll learn how to design your environment for success, so it supports your goals instead of sabotaging them. You'll discover the power of accountability, how sharing your goals with others can keep you on track and motivated. And you'll uncover ways to manage your energy, so discipline isn't about forcing yourself, but about sustaining your momentum. Discipline also means embracing discomfort. Growth rarely happens in comfort zone. It means pushing through resistance, ignoring the voice that says later, and choosing action now. That's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. The moment you commit to discipline, you step into a new level of personal power. But discipline alone isn't the whole story. Even the most disciplined people need strategies to recover when setbacks happen. Because no journey is perfectly linear. There will be days when you falter. The question is, how do you bounce back without losing steam? How do you turn failure into fuel? That's the next critical phase. Building resilience that keeps you moving forward no matter what. Because true transformation depends on your ability to recover, learn, and persist. So are you ready to master the discipline that turns your intentions into reality? Because once you harness this power, you'll unlock a new level of unstoppable momentum, and the journey to greatness continues. Maybe a failure, a rejection, or a loss that left you questioning everything. What if I told you that the true measure of success isn't about avoiding failure, but about how you respond when you're knocked down? Resilience is that incredible power within you, the ability to bounce back stronger wiser, and more determined every single time. Resilience isn't just about toughness or grit, it's a mindset, a skill, and a practice that you can develop. When resilience lives in your heart and mind, obstacles become opportunities for growth rather than roadblocks to your dreams. You start to see failure not as an end, but as a necessary part of the journey toward greatness. The key is learning how to recover quickly and use every experience as fuel for your next move. The journey to building resilience begins with perspective. How you interpret challenges shapes how you respond. Do you see a setback as proof that you're not capable, or do you see it as a lesson that teaches you what to do differently next time? When you choose the latter, you shift your entire experience. Resilience is about taking ownership of your story, refusing to be defined by circumstances, and creating a future rooted in strength. Building resilience also means developing emotional intelligence, the ability to manage your emotions in the face of stress and uncertainty. When you stay calm and centered, even in chaos, you create space for clarity and wise decisions. It's not about ignoring pain or difficulty, but about feeling deeply and choosing not to be overwhelmed by it. This emotional control allows you to recover faster and move forward with purpose. During this transformational week, you'll learn techniques to strengthen your resilience. You'll discover how to reframe your mindset, cultivate supportive relationships, and build habits that reinforce your inner strength. You'll also explore ways to take care of your physical and mental health, because resilience isn't just mental, it's holistic. But resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward. Every time you recover, you have the chance to leap higher, see farther, and act bolder. This creates a cycle of growth that propels you toward your goals with greater speed and confidence. However, resilience is tested most when the unexpected happens. Life throws curveballs, and sometimes the hardest moments feel like they'll break you. How do you maintain your resilience then? How do you prevent discouragement from turning into surrender? That's the crucial insight we'll explore next. How to develop unwavering hope that fuels your resilience through the darkest storms. Because hope is the spark that keeps the fire burning, even when the night seems longer. So are you ready to unlock the power of resilience and bounce back stronger every time? Because once you harness this strength, nothing can stop you, and your transformation is only accelerated. Have you ever noticed how some people just walk into a room and you instantly feel their presence? Their confidence isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet, unshakable, and contagious. What if I told you that this kind of confidence is not reserved for a lucky few? It's a state of being you can cultivate, starting right now, by stepping fully into your new reality. Your new reality begins the moment you decide that you are no longer the person limited by fear, doubt, or past mistakes. It starts when you embrace your potential, your purpose, and the power you hold to create the life you desire. Confidence grows when your actions align with your values, when your mindset is rooted in clarity and strength, and when you refuse to let external circumstances dictate your worth. Living with unshakable confidence means that you don't seek validation from others, because you know your value is intrinsic and non-negotiable. It means that setbacks don't shake your foundation. Instead, they remind you of your resilience and grit. You stand tall, even when the path ahead is uncertain, because you trust yourself and the process of growth. But how do you cultivate this confidence? It's a process that starts with self-awareness, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you will no longer tolerate. It requires intentional practice, from speaking kindly to yourself, to celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Confidence deepens when you take consistent action, stepping out of your comfort zone and proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Over this transformative week, you have rewired your mindset, built momentum, mastered discipline, and developed resilience. Now it's time to fully own that transformation. Confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build, one choice at a time, until it becomes your default state. It's about living authentically, boldly, and unapologetically. But here's the truth: confidence without humility can become arrogant. True confidence is rooted in humility, in knowing that your worth isn't diminished by the success of others. It's the balance of strength and grace, courage and compassion, ambition and integrity. This balance will not only elevate you, but also inspire those around you. So as you step into this new reality, remember that confidence is your superpower. It's the energy that opens doors, attracts opportunity, and commands respect. It's what will carry you through the inevitable storms of life and help you create a legacy that lasts. Are you ready to walk boldly into your future, armed with unshakable confidence? Because this is just the beginning. The life you've been dreaming of is waiting, and it's time to claim it. Thank you for journeying through this transformation. Remember, the power to change your life is already inside you. Embrace it, live it, own it. Now go and make your life extraordinary.